Okay, hey guys, this is J.Will here, giving my initial thoughts and reactions to the newest season of Big Brother 20. They just on Monday released videos, interviews of all the contestants, and I am just now getting to see them. And I thought I would share with you guys my initial reactions and predictions and how I thought the season was going to go so far. I'm very excited and can't wait to get started. So here we go. First off, I just want to say that all of my opinions have nothing to do with how these people are as people. This is just my predictions or initial reactions or assumptions about how I think they're going to be as game players or how entertaining I think they're going to be to watch on television. Okay, diving in though. First off, I just have to say, big change this year. Ross Matthews instead of Jeff Schroeder pre-interviews with the house guests in the diary room. Every year this used to be Jeff Schroeder for the last, I don't know, 5 to 10 years maybe. Ex BB alum, Jeff Schroeder, very handsome guy, fan favorite. This year, after Celebrity Big Brother, it's Ross Matthews. I'm not quite sure how I feel about this. The traditionalist in me misses Jeff Schroeder, but I do love Ross Matthews. I'm a huge RuPaul's Drag Race fan, and of course, I watched all of Celebrity Big Brother, so he kind of knows what he's talking about. Celebrity Big Brother isn't as long as a regular Big Brother season, so there's that seems to be a big added factor to the psychological state the house guests are in by the time a lot of the serious gameplay is going on, which Ross Matthews hasn't had to do, and I'd have to say Jeff Schroeder has done twice. But that being said, I love Ross Matthews. I'm not sad about it. And I hope he gets his own like big talk show soon after this because I'd love to watch it. So first one I saw was Rachel Swindler. She seems to be very pretty girl, very sophisticated and well spoken, well put together. I feel like she reminds me a lot of the girls I grew up with doing musical theater shows with. So at first it makes me think she might not be that interested in the game itself, but just like the notoriety and the Instagram followers, maybe, which isn't, I don't begrudge anyone for going on a show for those reasons. I just wonder how good of a game player she might be. She might be just more focused on that or her image. Sometimes people like that don't want to come across a certain way on national television because they foresee a career in the public later on and they don't want to tarnish that. So she seems like someone like that, but she does also seem like one of those like musical theater actor personality types that's really driven, really focused, when really competitive, when they have their eye on something, like watch out. So if she's focused, I think she could do great. Not one of my favorite picks so far, but she seems cool. She could win me over. The next house guest is Caitlin Herman, and I think she won me over. I wasn't sure about her, but she seems really sweet, really open. I love her motto of trying to go off her instinct and maybe compassion and playing the game through treating people nicely. We'll see, how that manifests. She used that word a lot, manifests. And I believe in all of that, so I don't want to like make fun of her, but you can tell in casting there is kind of an element of that with her character. Like they'll probably have her doing things and like the music that's like do 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 in the background, because she just kind of seems like one of those lovely personalities you fall in love with. So I'm rooting for her. She's on my list of people I like, but she does seem a little wacky. But I like the wacky ones, so I'm excited to see what she'll do. Okay, the next interview I saw on the CBS site was Chris Swaggy C. Williams. Who, I mean, first off, I have to say I was really excited to just see Big Brother have a black male on this season because I just feel like they don't always, and that's always weird to me. So first off, I have to say, he seems like a really like nice, interesting, entertaining person. The Swaggy C obsession makes me think, his main motivation to be on the show is the Instagram followers and the Twitter followers and the infamy. So you know, he has to be careful. As long as he doesn't say anything stupid, I think that'll work out for him. Is he interested in playing the game? We'll see. I hope so. He seems like he could be a really cool person to root for. Right now, he's not on my favorite list, but he seems nice. He seems chill. He seems like he'll be a really entertaining house guest in his diary room. Diary room confessions will be really interesting. So we'll see. Okay, the next interview I saw was Scotty Salton, which first impressions, I was like, all right, they've got a weird, quirky ginger. I was like, he seems really, really nerdy. I wasn't sure if he was maybe the gay contestant this year. I mean, his voice is so high, but I was also like, I just couldn't gauge it for a second. I just felt like he's straight by the end of it. Not that that matters. I'm just always paying attention to that. But he won me over. At first, I wasn't sure about him, but I think he seems extremely charming. I think he's going to be one of those house guests that, if he can make it past the first couple weeks, he'll be there till the end. And then if he plays his cards right, he could totally win. But I think either he's going to charm the pants off of everyone right when he goes in, or he's going to freak everyone out. And at first, he's going to be like up for eviction. And if he can make it past that, I think he could do well. But we'll see. Who knows? Okay, next up was Casey Clark. I initially was really excited about her. She just seems to have a really cool vibe. I'm not sure how much she knows about the game. That part seems to still be up in the air. It's interesting how every contestant's like, they're like, "Are you a fan?" They're like, "Oh yeah," and then they kind of grill them, and it doesn't quite seem like they fully know what they're talking about. Like, I don't know, but so she kind of seemed like in that category, and that's fine. She could still do great. She seems obviously really competitive, really driven. Seems pretty smart. I think I caught in there that she's a lesbian. Maybe I'm like, maybe I just wanted that because, you know, I'm always rooting for my LGBT contestants. And it doesn't, that's another thing. It doesn't seem like they always have a lesbian gal in the house every year. Or, anyways, doesn't matter. But so I'm excited. She's on my list. I like her. I like her drive. She's really pretty, which doesn't really matter. But I like her sleeves. I think she seems really cool. I'm into her. I'm into it. Okay, next up was Steve Arienta. Um, and I thought he was really interesting. I kind of, like, when I saw his picture, I kind of pegged him real fast. He seemed kind of like the Jersey, Brooklyn kind of Enzo-ish kind of character. They were talking about him being undercover narcotics detective, so obviously everyone's imprinting the Derek thing on him, and he even brought up Derek. So obviously Big Brother's selling him as like the Derek of this season, which would be really exciting. I mean, Derek was a really great player. If he does his own Derek thing, I think that'll be hard because like Derek somehow just like put on glasses and a cap and looked like one of the kids, and I mean, this guy might have a little harder time doing that, but he might just have to go a different angle. But I'm really interested. I'd love for that gameplay to be at a Derek level. It'd be really cool. Now, what tends to happen sometimes is on Big Brother with contestants like these is that we go in being like, oh my god, it's the Derek, and then they're like out the first week, or they have very sloppy gameplay. Um, so who knows? It could really go either way. It could go right down the middle. He could end up being a big floater. I don't know. But I think he'll be entertaining, which will be really exciting. Not on my favorite list, but I'm rooting for him. I think he'll be pretty cool. Okay. Next interview I saw was Sam Bledsoe, who I think even when I looked at the picture, I was like, I have a feeling that's just somebody that's gonna come out of left field. And she is like, I mean, I think she's gonna be one of the major entertaining contestants on the season if she lasts long. Just because her interview was so fascinating, she was so funny, she was so charming, just oozing out charm. Seemed like she won over Ross Matthews instantly. Who, you know, he's conducting these interviews like Sally Jesse Raphael, like, just peering into everyone's soul. And, he was cracking up, he was smiling. If people don't go in being like, oh, we got to get her out because everyone likes her pretty early. And she also seemed really tough. She seemed like a Jordan from season 11, but she seemed like super tough, like maybe Christmas or something. Maybe not that tough, I don't know. But yeah, I'm really excited. She's at the top of my list so far. I'm really excited about her. I can't wait to see what her diary room I can't say that phrase today. Diary room sessions are going to be like. Um, yeah, I can't wait. Okay, next I saw Winston Hines' interview with Ross, and he seemed really interesting in the sense that I felt like he was the first contestant to really kind of be like, I'm coming to win unapologetically. He's got this whole strategy set up. Ross seemed really kind of impressed with his know how. It seemed like he was an actual fan of the show. All these things really boding well for him. He kind of seems like maybe like a frat boy, which I'm not usually rooting for. Kind of seems maybe just like a Hayden, just kind of your typical. He seems like Shelly's boyfriend. I forget his name from season 17. That's what he reminds me of. Very handsome, but maybe kind of boring. Who knows? But he seems driven, so we'll see what his gameplay's like. At the end of the day, if he's a good game player, he can annoy me, but I can still get into it. And he seems like good eye candy, so I'm not sad about that. Next up, we had Tyler Crispin, who I'm still not convinced he knows what show he is on. He says he's also a really, really big fan. I mean, he even called out the fact that he looks like the guy that will get voted off the first week. So at least, I kind of liked him after he said that because it was like, well, at least there's some self awareness. But I don't know. He could prove he definitely just fits that surfer pretty boy mold of just kind of digging the experience, but maybe being a little in over his head. So we'll see if that's not true. I love his hair. He could end up being like a really cool person, a really great guy. But right now, again, not on my favorite list, but um, we'll see what he does. Next up, there was Haley Brochure. I'm probably butchering these people's names, and I'm really, really sorry. Gorgeous, gorgeous girl. Adorable. Probably maybe wears too much makeup, but she's on TV, so I mean, good for her. Um, I don't know. Nothing really fully caught me just with her. She kind of seems like the typical gorgeous model girl that they get on these shows. So we'll see. I believe she was from Texas, which makes sense with the makeup because it's like, drag queens wear too much makeup in Texas. Rodeo clowns wear too much makeup in Texas. So I could be getting her confused with one of the other girls. I think that's kind of the point. She's kind of in that mixed bag with every season. There's like a Greek chorus of gorgeous girls, um, and men. It's like I mean we'll get to the men, but so I don't expect much, but I'm ready for her to prove me wrong for sure. Next up we have I'm gonna mess this up. Fessy Shafat. It's spelled like maybe it should be pronounced Faisal Shafat, but that could be a nickname, or I just don't understand the pronunciation because I'm pretty ignorant. Point is, he's a beautiful, beautiful man, obviously. Seems to be kind of maybe the victor of this season. Seems like he'll be like the competition beast of this season. He's certainly eye candy for the season. And I couldn't tell. It didn't seem like he knew the game very well from the interview. I don't know if he was nervous. He didn't. It didn't seem like he was. Maybe he just wasn't showing his cards even on the interview. But it didn't seem like he was maybe fully prepared. He could be kind of young. I don't know. Beautiful man. I hope he stays on for a while, just because I would like to see him around. That's awesome. Okay, the next interview that I saw was J.C. Mondu, which I don't know if that's how you pronounce his name, but I was pretty smitten from the get with JC. Really adorable. Really very charming, very cute, very personable. I'm gonna be upfront that I find him really attractive, so maybe my gauge as far as how good of a game player he's going to be isn't that great because I'm like, he's great. But it does seem like there's kind of this in the casting world. There's this Jose vibe. So maybe they think he's going to be like a loose cannon or something. I could see him actually being kind of surprisingly under the radar when it comes to gameplay, like a very vibrant, outgoing personality. But when it comes to gameplay, like keeping it kind of discreet and like being friends with everyone. But we shall see. That's just what I get from the interview. But totally adorable. Hope he stays around, if nothing else, again for some nice eye candy because it seems like he has a fantastic body. Okay, next I saw Angie Rockstar Landtree's interview. And she won me over just with her look. She's totally that girl that was my RA in college in the dorms, like grown up, and it seems to be a cool mom. Yeah, I mean, she just seems like she's gonna be maybe a shit stirrer a little bit, and maybe not even in a bad way, but just she seems to be kind of out there and maybe keeping it real. Who knows? So I'm excited. I'm excited to see her. She's up there on the top of my list of someone I'm intrigued by. She just harkens back to those older house guests like a Nicole or a Rennie or and I don't mean older in age, but I mean older like the old school house guests that they'd find like such a big personality type that like needed to be on a show like this. So it seems like a good fit, and I hope she sticks around for a bit. She could be someone that gets kicked off early. Sometimes those characters they freak everybody out. But again, like Scotty, I think if she can make it past the first couple weeks, I think she'll be there for a bit. Okay, next house guest interview was Mr. Brett Robinson, and he definitely looks like a Robinson. He looks like, in true Big Brother form, they found the most iconically just male superhero looking guy. Very, very handsome, obviously. Will definitely be good eye candy throughout the season. He kind of seems like he might be like the Cody of the season. I'm kind of like waiting for him to be like secretly transphobic or something and then to hate him, but I'm hoping not. I'm hoping he's just a sweetheart teddy bear. He seems like he's going to be a competition beast. He seems like he's going to the ladies are gonna love him. So what would be great if he just like secretly just like was really into JC or something. But that never happens. That's always our little fantasies. But yeah, we'll see if people don't get really threatened by him early on, and he creates really good allies and plays the game smart. He could go far. But a lot of times with these guys, their pride gets in the way, and they think everything they do is right, or if anyone that does anything wrong to them is a terrible person, and then they just can't really play the game. But we'll see. I think he's pretty cool. Next, we had Angela Rumens, who also seems like, much like the litany of gorgeous men that are in the house, she seems like one of the litany of gorgeous model women that are in the house. I think she said she is a fitness model, which totally makes sense. So with the gorgeous people, I never get too excited about what their gameplay is going to be, because they tend to not really know the show as well. That Winston guy seems different, but everyone else that's really, really like that modelly gorgeous type, I'm not too excited or impressed with. Now I'm ready for them to prove me wrong, and Angela included. She seems really smart. She seems really charming. She seems like someone who can get along with a lot of different people. I get the sense that she's going to be involved in the alliances that I don't like this summer, but prove me wrong, girl. Prove me wrong, you know. Maybe what would be really cool is if she was like super like independent female driven power. She didn't get wrapped up in like a showmance or anything. Then I think I'd get really into her. But who knows? Even if she does all that, I might get really into her. She could just be a really cool person. So not on my favorite list, but I'm interested. I'm intrigued. We'll see what she does. And finally, the last interview I caught was Bailey Dayton, and she did not disappoint. I think she's going to be a lot of fun to watch. She seems to have a lot of spirit and life and humor. She also seems to have a lot of ambition and goals. So I think she's going to be really cool. I think she's going to be one to watch. I think she said it like if she can, you know, keep from saying everything that she maybe feels, she could probably go really far. Um, but at the same time, like I kind of hope she does. At least in the diary room, I hope she says exactly how she feels because she seems like someone who's going to be maybe like a Jason or a Davon or a Brittany Haynes. Like she's going to be really funny in the diary room sessions. So those are always my favorite people. I always root for them because the show has to be entertaining above all else, you know, and you want entertaining people on it. So I'm excited about her and I think she really rounds out the cast nicely. You know, just from how I saw all the interviews, she was the last one I saw, and it made me really excited for the season. And that is all 16 new cast members. I'm really excited, actually. Most of the time, I come out of these interviews like not really liking most of the contestants, but still going to watch the show. And this time, I really dig most of them. Actually, there's none of them I dislike. I'm interested in all of them, and half of them I'm really, really excited by. So I think it's going to be a really good season. All fresh new contestants, which I'm really excited by. Usually they try harder, they just think a little bit faster, they're more on their games. They're not relying on more experienced players to kind of tell them what to do or to conceive of things. It's that true American spirit of just like out to get it. So I think it's going to be a really good season. I'm really excited. So feel free to keep watching if you're interested in what I have to say. Big Brother's a huge guilty pleasure of mine, so I'm always looking myself for videos to hear and listen to and talk at the television to and express my opinions about Big Brother with. So if you find this helpful or interesting, feel free to subscribe to my channel or to like this video and tell 3 friends. All right. Hope you have a good day. I'll see you in a week for the premiere. I'm excited.